I am Daisy Pace, and I'm a second year at NC State, and I'm studying a BS of Chemistry, a BA in English Literature, and then I also have a minor in French. In my first year at NC State, I was very fortunate enough to study abroad twice, once in the spring and once in the summer. First program was called Italy, Urban History, Tourism, and Sustainability in Venice, and I chose it because I was curious about how tourism could be rethought in a sustainable way. Later, I spent 2 months in Lyon, which is in France, and that was through a program focused on language, culture, and history. And I wanted full immersion in French, and Lyon was just the perfect place to grow both academically and personally. What made it possible is that I received scholarships and full funding, which was especially important for me as a low-income student. In both Venice and Lyon, I built a connection to the owners of little cafes and coffee shops and bakeries, all of that, that I visited almost every day, usually like every single morning before class. And even though it was just like very small interactions, they were very meaningful and made me feel part of like the community there, rather than just a tourist. Especially in France, one of my most meaningful moments though, aside from the cafe, regular, all of that, was traveling to Giverny to see Monet's gardens and just standing where he painted and where he felt inspired and traveling there just gave me a new sense of independence and confidence. In Venice, seeing how climate change has already reshaped the city made environmental issues feel much more urgent and real to me, and not just in Venice, but in many other places in the world that don't get the same recognition as well. And in Lyon, I had to operate every day in another language. So I've only studied French for about a year now, but the full immersion was really difficult. At first, I doubted myself a lot, but I discovered eventually that I was more resilient and a lot more adaptable than I first thought. And yeah, both experiences showed me that growth often comes through discomfort. And sometimes I like when I have no idea what's going on, because at least I know I'm learning something new. And both of the experiences helped me see myself as someone who's capable of contributing to global conversations, not just observing them. I've always been passionate about pursuing a career in chemical research and law, and before studying abroad, I thought that might confine me to just a lab space or an office, and I really didn't like that idea. But Venice showed me how science connects to sustainability and global policy and advocacy, which I'm very passionate about. And Lyon reminded me that language and culture can expand that work and just open so many doors and pathways for me to explore working and traveling abroad. I realized that I can combine science, law, and language with global travel, activism, and cross-cultural collaboration. Me as a low-income student who never thought I would even go to college, and then studying abroad twice in my first year was like very surreal. As a low-income student, of course, the biggest concern was how to afford it, and I want to emphasize it was fully funded, both programs through scholarships that made all the difference for me. And at first, also the logistics felt very overwhelming, so like travel, housing, visas, all of that. But the NC State Study Abroad office just walked me through it step by step, and the advisors are really great and are super helpful, willing to answer any questions that I had. And my advice to other students is to start applying early, start applying to scholarships, and just look into every scholarship you can, and don't hesitate to ask for help from anyone. The resources are definitely there, and studying abroad is possible, even if it feels out of reach. Honestly, I would say just do it, because reading about a place and like actually being there are two completely different experiences. Studying abroad in my first year opened doors and experiences and opportunities that I never even imagined. It just showed me how many more opportunities are out there. My whole entire life I had dreamed of learning French and going to France, and I achieved that dream. And there are so many more coming out of that as well. And as students, we're in such a unique position right now with scholarships and support and the time to travel. And, you know, those opportunities won't always exist in the same way after graduation. So I think it's important to take advantage of every opportunity while you can. And it's absolutely worth it.